Stephen A. Smith was held back in school either one or two different times. He was dyslexic, undiagnosed, and wasn't a good student. We think retarded. We get this picture over and over and over again. There's a little different one from another year where Stephen A. looks a little darker or whatever, but we get these two shots. And I've been asking the question of like, where are the candid photos of Stephen A. Smith just on the college campus, hanging out with his buddies or friends, at homecoming? Where are those pictures at? Every time this man's on TV and has talked about going to Winston-Salem State, all we get are the Wilt Chamberlain photos. Think about your college experience, even if you're me and Stephen A. Smith's age or older. How many pictures do you have from college? Particularly those of you that played athletics, those of you that had any type of social life in college, is the only picture you can produce is a headshot from the basketball team? We can't see pictures of you and your boys just hanging out at a HBCU that have homecomings that are off the chains? Nothing? Maybe he's got it and he's just hiding it. I don't get it. And I want to know who the Steve Smith is on the stat sheet. The reason why this is important is I'm reaching the point, the more I watch these videos of Stephen A. Smith, it's the line seems pathological. And it makes you, why has he been installed at the top? Is it because he's so uncomfortable or he's so comfortable stretching the truth? Is that who they need at the top of all these influential positions? People that are very, very comfortable playing loose with the facts and the truth? Is that the media environment that has been set up so that you can get Rachel Maddow to go on TV and say, if you take the vaccine, you will not get COVID. I repeat, if you take the vaccine, you will not get COVID. What type of person that isn't a doctor would be comfortable going on TV? Someone just cooked up a vaccine in 6, 7, 8 months. Who would be comfortable going on TV? If you take the vaccine, you will not get COVID. Someone who is comfortable lying. Someone who doesn't really care about the truth or being right or wrong. They just want to do what they're told. They just want to make sure Big Pharma keeps cutting those checks. I've showed you the videos of Stephen A. Smith promoting the vaccine, specifically to black people. Who would do that? He's a former alleged college athlete, some sort of sports writing journalist, but now you're comfortable going on TV telling people what medications they should take? Who would be comfortable doing that? A pathological liar. Maybe he's not a pathological liar, but my God, I want to just, and we got other clips we could play, but I just want to show you, one other one. And later in the week or at some other point, I'll show you others where Stephen A. Smith is just comfortable sitting down in front of interviewers and saying anything. Watch this clip as Stephen A. Smith talks about his childhood and how the drug dealers protected him. Play the clip.
That we just finished talking about when I talk about how, I'm not snitching, I'm not talking, I'm not getting into people's personal business or whatever. I grew up with that code. One of the biggest drug dealers in Hollis literally lived directly across the street from me, and he was a killer. And it was understood, Steve is not to be touched. You got dealers in Hollis, Steve is not to be touched. You know, they understood that there was potential in me, and they literally threatened they were going to whip my ass if they ever saw me on the corner involved in the drug game in any way. They said we didn't have a choice.
How did they know? How did they know that about you?
They would see me on the basketball court. First of all, the level of diligence that I put forth, that I'd shoot like 300 J's a day and stuff like that. They'd see me in school. You know, they know I came home, I'd do my homework, put in the work, whatever. They knew that I wasn't trying to be about that life. And so their whole mentality was, you know, you got your mother there, you got your 4 older sisters there, active part of your life. You got a support system. You don't have to do this. We did. We made our choice. But we ain't gonna let you make this choice. And literally, I've had several of them tell me, we will f you up. Do not be on this corner. Do not be doing this. Do not be gonna bust your ass. Wow. And they meant it. And I knew they meant it. And so they would sit up there, they'd let me shoot, stuff like that. It would get dark. They had to get into their game. They said, all right, it's time for you to go. You know, but it was understood. People in the neighborhood, it was widely known, do not touch me with that game. So
think this through. And we've heard other prominent athletes say this. These, you know, everybody could see like, hey, DeMar DeRozan, I think, tells this story. You know, DeMar DeRozan, 6'6", 6'7", headed to the NBA. Everybody could see it. He grew up in a rough neighborhood, and you know, this is a common refrain among super talented athletes that grew up in the hood. That hey, the bad guys could see I was headed somewhere, and you know, they left me alone. So just think about the facts that we know from Stephen A. Smith from his own mouth. That when he left high school, he was 5'9", 130 pounds, according to Stephen A. Smith. And so you want us to believe that when you left as a senior at 5'9", 130 pounds, that the drug dealers in your neighborhood would look out and see a 5'5", 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", tiny little kid and go, ooh, that boy right there, he got a bright future. Look at those jump shots he's taking. That little midget there, he's the next Muggsy Bogues.